put the switch on.
It's not on yet.
Put this on the red. It does work. I'm sorry, we're just a couple of minutes late, which I did explain. This is the first of two public hearings today on the proposed regulations on nutrient-sensitive area regulations. And we're opening this hearing to accept comments and to consider, which we'll consider when we're going to adopt these regulations. The notice of this hearing was advertised twice in the Cape Codder newspaper, as is legally required, on December 21st and December 28th. Beyond that, there were articles in the Cape Codder, articles in the Cape Cod Times. It's been on the town webpage. And on Wednesday, I stood right there and I announced it to the selectmen in the full blare of television lights. So I think it's been well advertised. Now, copies of the regulations are available on, have been available in the office for some time, and they're available now on the table in the corner, as is a copy of a document that we put together called the Citizen's Guide to the proposed regulations on nutrient-sensitive areas. And we put that together to help people and perhaps answer some of the questions that people might have. Now, the rules as we've designed them will be as follows. We're going to begin with Bob Canning, our health agent, will give a brief overview of the regulations. Then those of us on the board, and 4 of us are present and 1 is, we think, still coming, will accept comments from any of you. But we'd like you to limit your presentation to no more than 5 minutes. Before giving any comments, please state your name and your place of residence, and your affiliation if you have one. And we request that if you have spoken, that you don't come back to the podium until everybody who wants to have a chance of addressing us has had the opportunity to do so, and then you can come around for a second helping. This is the first of 2 hearings today, as I think I said. This one was slated to start at 2, and there's going to be another one at 7. So let me bounce it over to our health agent, who's going to give us an overview. Mr. Canning.
Thank you. In the preamble, we explained that there's excess nitrogen and has been identified as a major contributing factor in the declining health of the marine environment. Excess phosphorus and to some degree excess nitrogen are the major contributing factors to the declining health of the freshwater environments.
They can't hear you. Is there something that...
Is that better?
Oh, yes, much better.
I'll move it back then. I'll start over because it was so good. In the preamble, we explained that excess nitrogen has been identified as a major contributing factor in the declining health of the marine environment. Excess phosphorus and to some degree excess nitrogen are the major contributing factors in the declining health of the freshwater environments. In Orleans, there's an immediate concern over the level of nitrogen entering the local groundwater and its subsequent effect on the marine estuaries. Currently, the nitrogen in the groundwater is steadily increasing. The town, as you may know, is undergoing a comprehensive wastewater management plan. The purpose of the plan is to address the sanitary needs of the town, to protect the town's water supplies, reduce the nutrients in the surface water, and address the convenience and aesthetic factors, and to support sustainable development. The town must regulate the increase in nitrogen entering the groundwater from septic systems that might affect the marine estuaries. To minimize this increase in nitrogen, the town must address the generation of wastewater on a parcel-specific basis by relating development to parcel size. That's really an overview of what is said in the preamble and the purpose of the regulation. The guts of the regulation, the applicability, the following projects shall be subject to the provisions of the regulation. New commercial development with a Title V flow of less than 10,000 gallons per day. Anything over 10,000 gallons per day fall under the state's purview and the groundwater discharge permit. Existing commercial development with a total sewage flow design of less than 10,000 gallons per day, where an additional or change in use is proposed that will increase the sewage flow over the existing flow but still remain less than 10,000 gallons per day. Subdivisions creating 3 or more parcels regardless of the existing dwelling units. Construction of multifamily housing. Construction of single-family housing. Alterations, additions, or changes in use to dwellings that would increase the calculated sewage design flow. properties already connected to a town sewer or already using enhanced treatment that removes nitrogen or phosphorus. And these properties may apply for a variance or a waiver as part of the regulations if specific relief is requested. There are exemptions in the regulations. These exemptions are as follows. All facilities that fall under the state's purview with a groundwater discharge permit are not covered by these regulations. Properties located within the village center district as currently defined by the Orleans zoning map. Properties located within the general business district as currently defined by the Orleans zoning map, with the exception of apartment developments having 3 or more dwelling units. Properties located in the industrial district are exempt. And modification of existing lot lines not resulting in the creation of new lots, nonconformity, or creating an increase in nonconformity by increasing the degree of an existing nonconformity. What the regulations are, the general requirements. Regulation, first off, will not prohibit the construction of a 2-bedroom house on any lot, providing that that lot is not in a currently designated nitrogen-sensitive area, those being lots which fall within our zone of contribution to municipal wells, or if you receive your drinking water from a private well on your own property. Again, with the regulations, no permit shall be issued by the Board of Health for any of the projects subject to the provisions of this regulation unless the proposed system is designed to receive or shall receive 440 gallons per day per 40,000 square feet, or a ratio thereof. No facility shall be expanded or have a change of use that increases the design flow until a disposal system construction permit has first been obtained, unless the Board of Health or its agent determine that the existing sewage disposal system is adequate per Title V in the Orleans Board of Health regulations, including documentation that the facility's design flow is less than or equal to the ratio of 440 gallons per day per 40,000 square feet. The division of land into 3 or more lots shall require a shared or common on-site sewage disposal system that provides nitrogen removal technology. The division of land involving existing dwelling units resulting in the creation of parcels which are not in compliance with the ratio of 440 gallons per day per 40,000 square feet shall cause each parcel to install an on-site subsurface sewage disposal system that provides nitrogen removing technology. There is a provision for variance in the regulations. These provisions state that a variance can be granted by the Board of Health only if the applicant first demonstrates to the satisfaction of the Board of Health that literal enforcement of the regulation would involve substantial hardship, financial or otherwise. Secondly, demonstrates to the Board of Health that the discharge of effluent from the proposed septic system will offer the same level of protection to the groundwater or surface water resource as would be provided by strict application of the code. The regulation also contains sections regarding authority, preamble, definitions, general enforcement, orders, service and content, hearings, appeals, penalties, and severability. The copies of the regulations, as the chairman had said, are on the table right by the entrance door. And they have been available in the health department and will continue to be at least through the hearings this evening. So if anyone wants a copy, there are plenty of copies over on the table. We may have run out earlier. There are additional copies there now. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Canning. And again, I emphasize that the backdrop to all this is to attempt to stop the rate of increase of nitrogenous waste getting into our embayments. This is not going to reduce the amount that we put in now, but the rate of increase, which has been steady, should, we hope, be slowed by the implementation of these regulations. And the other comment that I'll make, re-emphasizing what has already been said, that for the vast majority of those of us who live in Orleans, this will only affect the homeowner constructing a new dwelling or adding to an existing dwelling if that addition increases the calculated flow of wastewater into the ground. I hope you all had opportunity to sign in the little guest book, as I call it, in the corner. And we're open now to hear from you. We are here to listen to your comments. These are draft regulations. We will amend them as we get more educated. And when you come up to the podium, please give us your name and your address, and please be limited to 5 minutes the first time around. We're open to all comers. Please, yes.
My name is Bruce Eyre, and I apologize for my voice. I have an appointment with a doctor on the 24th. I refer to 6.2, which refers to a lot of it refers to a 40,000 square foot lot. It so happens that we own a 20,000 square foot lot that has been grandfathered. There is no building on it at the moment, but those who follow us in our family may wish to put a building on it, and I feel that you're devaluating our property. Now, if we can get a variance, that's one thing, but do we have to go to the Board of Assessors and demand a new assessment of our property? That's my question.
No, Bob, maybe you can answer. The answer is no.
The regulations would allow a two-bedroom home on that property. I don't know how the assessors would evaluate the property if these regulations go into effect. If you feel that it has an impact, certainly you should speak to them.
Well, my point is that we've owned the lot about 20 years. We've paid taxes on it based on a building lot of at least 3 bedrooms. And it's assessed now at the point of $480,000. So we're paying taxes on that basis.
Now, how big did you say it was? You said
20,000.
20,000, yes. And my feeling is that it reduces the value of the lot. So I plead my case, or I've said my case. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Other comments, please?
Yeah, my name is Hank Schumacher, at 28 Nauset Heights Road in East Orleans. My concern is what's happening more in the neighborhood, in the watershed. There's 5 construction projects going on in Nauset Heights this winter. Some are in lots of way less than 40,000 square feet. Some are in lots of 8,000 square feet of Priscilla. I saw them put in a septic system, which I don't know if it's been approved, but it looks to me that all the runoff from that's going to go right into Priscilla Beach, right into our Nauset estuary. And there's going to be 2 houses, I think, that were allowed to be built on 2 lots of 8,000 square feet each. So all these grandfathered lots, like Mr. Eyre has suggested here, that are less than 40,000, will people still be able to build and put septic systems that are going to continue the pollution of our estuaries?
Gus, you're an expert on this area.
Let's pretend that this regulation was enacted last night. It's always easier to draw a line and pretend you're dealing with a given. So let's pretend that this very regulation, before we finalize it or change anything, were enacted. Any current project that is underway, that has a permit, that is being built, the plans have been filed, things like that, would be allowed to continue to build and put in the appropriate septic system that was approved for their lot. If this were approved last night and someone came in with an 8,000 square foot lot, they would only be allowed to put in up to 2 bedrooms, according to this regulation. If they had 3/4 of an acre lot, they could go to 3 bedrooms, or a full acre, they could go to 4 bedrooms. But we can't retroactively run in and stop that. Now, as far as what is currently going into the groundwater from my septic system and your septic system and the ones that are out there being built right now, those are going to be addressed as the town moves forward, certainly within this calendar year, of coming forth with a comprehensive wastewater management plan. If you'll Give me a little time for a plug, Mr. Chairman.
5 minutes is your limit, as you
Oh,
well
5
know.
minutes, oh, well, okay, well, I've got 2 more minutes. The Wastewater Management Steering Committee has been in existence for almost 8 years. We've collected the science through the estuary project. We've hired an engineer. We have gotten to the point we have developed 9 plans, and on the 16th of this month, we are presenting the winnowing down of those 9 to 3 composite plans to address the needs of this town. And then the committee will take the input from that, and before this year is out, we will be presenting a single solution to deal with the wastewater in this town. A totally separate issue from what the Board of Health is doing, but it certainly is a parallel issue because we're all trying to solve what happens to that wastewater that goes into the ground. So this is a parallel effort to work on that, but there is a plan and a committee and a commitment from this town to deal with what's in the groundwater now and what's going into Priscilla's Landing and other places, if that answers your question.
And I think that the 2 questions we've had so far very nicely, I think, represent the bookends of the issue. The individual has a lot and is concerned about how it can be used in the future, and those who are concerned about what is happening around us in terms of the increasing pressure upon the land and the water around us. So I think they're very interesting 2 questions that began the issue. So,
Sims. Brooks Woods.
My name is Brooks Woods. I live at 7 Larboard Lane in East Orleans. I find myself a little confused here. We have a wastewater committee. It's been working for 8 years, trying to figure out what we should do to reduce the nitrogen flow into the estuaries and things like this. You come along with a thing now where you're jumping the gun. What correlation have you had with the wastewater committee? You seem to have 2 people working on the same problem. I don't think that's a very good idea unless you have complete coordination between the 2. Have you?
maybe I should have said this up front, Mr. Woods. We have had a